everyone. Hopefully you can hear me. This is Alana Bartolini. I'm the ESA moderator for today's event. Can I get a big wave from everybody in our audiences? Great. Perfect. So I'd like to welcome all of you in Germany, Italy, and Spain to the in-flight call with ESA astronaut Luca Parmitano, and he's on board the International Space Station. This in-flight call is dedicated to education and the theme of going beyond. We'll be talking with Luca live from the Columbus module. As I mentioned, we have 3 European sites connected in today and preparing to talk with Luca. At each of the sites, teachers and students have been participating in local events throughout the day, which have been organized by the National Space Education Resource Offices, known for short as ESEROs. The ESERO program is ESA's umbrella project for supporting the primary and secondary school education community in Europe. ESEROs are offices established in ESA member states, which operate in the country's language and support the teacher community in their daily delivery of national curricula. There are currently 15 ESERO offices covering 17 countries across Europe. ESEROs partner with the national education institutions, ministries of education, and space agencies to provide teacher training and professional development, classroom resources, information about space careers, and competitions and hands-on projects for students. ESERO's main objective is to use space as a context to excite and inspire students to engage in science and technology. At each of the local events in Germany, Italy, and Spain, the teachers and students have had the opportunity to participate in activities and hear from expert speakers about the uniqueness and many challenges of going beyond. In just a few minutes, teachers in each country will have the opportunity to ask questions about this theme to Luca Parmitano. To kick off the event, we'll begin by going around Europe with a round of introductions from each of our connected sites. We'll start first with Germany. Germany, please go ahead.
Hi, Alana. Nice to see you again, you and your colleagues. We are all very happy that it worked well and that we have the connection established. Clara and me, your colleague is also here. We have a nice 2 hours right now, and you can say hello to teachers and students from all over Germany, and big applause for you. I hope it's not too loud. Okay, thank you again. We had a wonderful 2 hours long and exhausting, but also very exciting because we got to know experiments on board the ISS, experiments which are carried out by Luca, like Biorock or the life support rack. We had a special guest, Juliana Schmitz from DLR, who talked us about the electromagnetic levitator, so very high level chemistry experiment, if I got it right. But we also got to know all the education actions ESA is carrying out, like Mission X, AstroPi, CanSat, of course, and our education purposes of ESERO Germany, and our developments like augmented reality applications, virtual reality applications, and of course, awareness-raising activity events like today. And with these words, I would like to switch over my colleague Annalisa from ESERO Italy. And please, everybody wave goodbye and say hello or ciao to Annalisa. Ciao, Annalisa.
Hello, dear Andreas. Thank you very much for your very nice introduction. I am Annalisa Terracina, the ESERO Italy manager, and I wish to thank ESA for this great opportunity, and we can't wait to talk to Luca Parmitano and to ask our question. And I wish to thank all the students and the teachers who are here today. You can say hello, very cool, hello, okay. So we have a lot of students here, and they behave perfectly this day. They ask nice questions, and everything went very well. So our event started this morning, and we had a great presentation which introduced all of us to the theme of today, which is to go beyond. So I wish to thank Germana Galofaro, which is here, and talk to us about the experiment on board of the ISS, and also Paolo D'Angelo, who sits next to Germana, who also speak about the secrets or less known stories about about the ISS. And then we had two very nice presentations from Luca Deli Passeri, Protezione Civile Nazionale, who talk about the importance of the meteo and how to prevent natural disaster, analyzing data coming from space, from satellite. So very important talk as well. And then finally we had a presentation from Angelo Zinzi from the Italian Space Agency, and who talk about looking for another Earth. So talking about exoplanet, which is a very important topic, and as maybe you already know, some few days ago the Nobel Prize for Physics went to the researchers who discovered an exoplanet for the first time. So now again, I want to thank our students and teachers. We know we have just 20 minutes, but I want to tell everybody that all the questions were very important and interesting, but unfortunately we have to select just some of them. And I wish to thank ESA for this great opportunity, and NASA as well. So now I pass over to ESERO Spain, to Domingo. Goodbye, everybody.
Ciao Annalisa, grazie. Well, this is Domingo Scutia, ESERO Spain manager, and what to say, welcome to Granada. Here we are in an auditorium, you could see jam-packed, I mean, completely crowded, about 500 people today. We have spent a really lovely day, really nice. We have had time to spend some time with experts, like Dr. Luis Alara, Astrophysics Institute of Andalucía. We have learned a lot about science done here in Granada for all space mission, for the most important, space mission for ESA. We have also had the opportunity to meet Professor Andrés Roldán, the electronic department of the University of Granada. We have learned more about the future students and the professions, and to promote that interest to carry on studying at the university. And engineer Ana Olea, chief engineer of Airbus, she's in charge of the antenna that will communicate Mars 2020 mission with Earth. So we have learned a lot about communication and what's like how to communicate with Mars in the near future. But it's not but for us the most important part has been the work done in advance with almost 25 teachers from different cities around the region, Malaga, Cádiz, Jaén, Granada. They have shown us some of the projects they have done during the school year. We could see like a bionic hand, some robotic stuff. They have had the opportunity to share that experiences and project with the experts today. And well, we'll keep collaborating with them. We'll develop more resources about the space exploration. And well, you could see my teachers here and the students there. They are all really anxious to meet Luca. So I think it's more or less time 2 minutes before the connection. So it's an advice for all the ESEROs also that we should stay now in a standby mode, wait for the ESA moderator to the contact with the ISS, and well, stay tuned.
This is ESA moderator Alana Bartolini. How do you hear me?
I read you loud and clear.
Excellent. Thank you. Hello, Luca. Good afternoon. You're now connected with Germany, Italy, and Spain. I'll hand over to you quickly for some opening remarks, then we'll go to the floor for questions.
Well, first of all, hello, guten Morgen, hola, and ciao a tutti. It's a great opportunity to have you guys here. I don't want to steal a lot of time with my words because I'm really curious to hear the questions from the students, and I'm eager to answer those questions for you.
Great. Thank you, Luca. We'll first begin with our 2 questions from Germany. Germany, please go ahead.
Hello, Luca. I'm Stefan Yao from a secondary school in Kalbala. We had a huge Mission X program, and me and my students, we wanted to know, in the Biorock experiment, you work with microbes that break down rocks into useful minerals and metals. How do you safely perform experiments like this on the ISS, where the contents could be harmful for the crew? And do you think that experiments such as Biorock can help lead to the development of future life support systems?
Wow, hello. Well, first of all, I'm very excited that you guys know so much about the Biorock experiment. It's a really, really, really cool experiment. The way we deal with any kind of potentially harmful substance on the space station is that we take a very, very good care of how we contain it. So anything that is potentially harmful needs to be contained in 3 different levels of safety. So the Biorock experiment had a box inside which there was a container that had the water and the bacteria, and then we also performed all the experiment here in Columbus, away from the other modules, inside an incubator, so that we could spin the bacteria to see how they would perform in microgravity, or actually with the same conditions they would have on the ground under an acceleration, and floating in microgravity. So basically the answer is we have in the design itself of the experiment, we contain as much as we can any potential harm, and on the ground we take really, really good care of doing that. As far as an experiment like Biorock being useful for future life support system, Biorock was not designed for life support systems. We have other experiments that are going in that direction, where we want to recycle water, we want to see if we can recycle solid waste, we want to see how we can improve the stability of an environment. Biorock was really designed more as a mining idea. Like, if we are going to exploit resources on a different planet or a different satellite or an asteroid, how can we do that? Can we use existing bacteria, and can we change them, maybe modify them so that they suit our needs?
This is Jan speaking from Willy Brandt Gesamtschule in Germany. My students and I, we really would like to know, how do space missions affect you physically and psychologically, and what characteristics, knowledge and skills will astronauts need for future deep space missions?
That's a great question. You guys are very good questions. Okay, so first of all, from a physical point of view, as you can see, I am completely weightless here in orbit, and the way it affects my body is that if I didn't do anything at all while I'm up here, it would lead to very quick degeneration of my muscle structure and bone structure, something very similar to osteoporosis, a rapid onset osteoporosis. We have other effects. We have fluid shift that changes the pressure distribution in our body, and we are studying all those effects. But the best way I can answer that is, in order to avoid any changes, any physiological change, we really have put in place a lot of countermeasures during the years. That's why we've had the space station for 20 years. We have now learned that by working out every day, doing physical exercise, up to 2.5 hours every day of physical exercise, lifting weights, running, cycling, we can keep those changes to a minimum. There are also potential changes to our sight. There are possible changes to our hearing because of the background environment, and our engineers on the ground do all they can to prevent those from being permanent. Psychologically, well, it's hard to tell, because we are the ones on the space station and we feel great. We have human interaction all the time, and we choose to be up here. There is no imposition. So in general, I can tell you that the crews that are on the space station are really happy to be up here. And I'm not aware of any psychological changes other than the ones you can expect. Like, we miss our families. We miss, after a couple of months of being up here in a very artificial environment, we miss natural things like natural food, natural sights, smells, the rain, the wind, the sun. Those are psychological impacts. But I'll tell you what, because we do know that those impacts are not permanent, and this is a limited experience in time, we actually know how to how to deal with that just by, talking, looking outside, sharing the experience with the people on the ground, and making sure that we stay well connected. And that's the best way to do it. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Luca. We're now heading over to Italy for 2 questions. Italy, please go ahead.
Good morning, Luca. I'm Claudia Piantini from secondary school Principe di Piemonte Moscati in Rome. I'm honored to meet you, and the question that my students would like to ask you is the following. For us, going beyond means overcoming our own limitation and difficulties, and also overcoming our thoughts, or being willing to change our knowledge and our beliefs. In your work as an astronaut on the ISS, when and how have you had the opportunity to go beyond your experience and professionalism? Have you experienced a personal change in your beliefs or knowledge? Thank you.
Wow, you guys really search deep for very, very deep questions. So what does it mean to me, going beyond? To me, going beyond is finding your limit, finding the side of the box that you are currently in, and pushing the limit away to the side. Try to make it bigger. We all have limits. We all do have limits, but we can push those limits away. So I hope not to disappoint you guys, but in my professional experience, the things that push me beyond are performing those tasks that I'm not very talented at because because I don't enjoy them as much. We all have preferences. Some people like science, some people like maintenance, some people like more active stuff. Everybody's preference. When I get to some tasks that are really difficult for me, that's when I find my beyond. And what I mean is that by focusing on doing the best that I can on those tasks, the ones that are hard, the ones that are the most difficult for me, where I'm not good at, trying to be as good as I can be, that's to me going beyond. And here on the space station, I find it every day. There is always something that I find that is frustrating, that is hard, that is difficult, that is more complicated than I expected. It takes more time than I would like to. And that's when I have to gather my resources, get a clear head and say, okay, if it were easy, we wouldn't be here doing this. It wouldn't be interesting. So even though I don't like what I'm doing, I have to put 100% of my capabilities into these tasks so that I can grow, so that I can evolve, so that I can be better tomorrow than I was yesterday. And take it as an opportunity for growth. Right now, one of the hardest things I'm doing is being commander. Being commander of the space station so far has been the most professionally challenging experience ever, because we can teach anybody how to perform a task on a computer, how to do science. We can teach how to fly a spacecraft, but nobody can teach you how to lead. You cannot teach that. You have to find out on your own, and that's what I'm learning every day, every second of my experience up here.
Hello, Luca. My name is Gerarda Gallo. I'm a math and science teacher from Giovanni Falcone School, Grottaferrata, Roma. We can all imagine your emotion moving away from the Earth and living in an environment so different to what we are used to. Well, I wish to ask, do you think going beyond means adapting to a new environment and perhaps finding a new planet to live on? How does your experience as astronaut help you appreciate our Earth and see an opportunity to make it better? Thank you so much.
So as I said, going beyond can have any meaning you want. going beyond that doesn't only apply for motion. Doesn't only is not only about exploration. It can be about internal, inner exploration. So you can apply that meaning to anything, to any difficulty, any obstacle, any kind of limitation that you find in life. Does it mean also exploring for new planets? Why not? In the future, I certainly don't want to impose any limitation on that kind of possibility. Anything that we can think is possible, at least in my opinion. Do we need to do that right now? Well, in the future, if we keep expanding the way we are expanding on Earth, we will run out of resources. So we are going to have to find resources on different planets, or on the moon, or on asteroids. So is that going beyond? Yes, it's going beyond our capabilities of today. How do we do that? We do that by employing science, by employing technology, ingenuity, by having exploration as a way to go beyond what is currently our limit. But yes, I don't think it's a contrast when I say that going beyond is also understanding that what we're doing on Earth right now is damaging our only planet, the only resource for life that we know. And we have to go beyond what we're currently doing in terms of energetic resources, in terms of limiting our CO2 emissions. We have to go beyond our current plans in order to keep our planet viable. Not for life. Life will continue. Life will continue well beyond we are gone. But we are facing a mass extinction for many species, including man, because of our own incapability of seeing beyond our present times. So yes, going beyond from the space station also means looking down and thinking, we need to put our resources into saving this planet, into understanding that it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to an whole ecosphere, and everybody's part of it. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Luca. We'll now switch over to Spain for 2 questions. Spain, please go ahead.
Hi, Luca. I am Diego Garcia, teacher at FEIP Federico Garcia Lorca, Guabejar in Granada, where we work with 3D printing and educational robotics. Nice to greet you. On Earth, we have created remote control robots that can walk, roll, and even fly. What role do you think this type of advanced robots will have in the future of exploration?
So we already have robotic exploration, and as a matter of fact, ESA's program is called Human and Robotic Exploration because we think that they go hand in hand, or hand in robotic hand. They're not in contrast, and right now robotics is incredibly important. Think of the discoveries and the research ongoing on Mars through spirit, opportunity, and curiosity. They have done tremendous job exploring and visiting the ground for us. We have a European robotic research program, Mars Express, where currently we have an orbiter around Mars analyzing the atmosphere. So I believe that in the future, this cooperation between human and robotics is going to increase, is going to get even better, because the intelligence of the robots is going to make them more independent, is going to make them better adapted, is going to make them more reliable. So what we see here is a way where probes, robots, rovers open up the way for us to understand the environment before we go in and try to do our own exploration on the ground. Now, there are several limitations to robotics exploration that humans don't have, and vice versa. There are limitations to human exploration that robots don't have. So I believe that the two things should be really integrated. ESA is doing really a lot of work into integrating human and robotic exploration, and I think that in the future it's going to be even more so. Thank you for the question.
Hello, Luca. My name is Agustín Torres. We come from ES Gildezático in Jaén, Andalucía, south of Spain. Our question is, microbes play an important role in life on Earth. All microbes taken for air need to be prepared to withstand environment conditions in space, and specifically on other planets. Thank you.
So yeah, no, we really understand the microbes and the microbiome is a vital part of our environment and ecosystem. We study our own microbiome up here on the space station to understand what changes happen to the microbes when they are in a macro G environment, and they do change. There is gene expression changes, there are behavioral changes, there are reproduction changes. So we are currently studying those to better understand what happens at the macroscopic level when you leave the known safety of Earth, and you go in an environment that's completely different. I don't know if where we are with the modification, it would be more that would be more of a question for an astrobiologist. I do think that the research in going into the way of exploiting the capabilities of many microbes of living in extreme places. We have extremophiles in all kind of different environments on Earth. There are extremophiles that like high acidity place. There are extremophiles that like very base place, extreme hot, extreme cold, extreme pressure. So all those characteristics we understand are found elsewhere in the universe. So the more we understand the microbiology of these of our world, the more we can infer what kind of environment we can find in other places. Now, to counteract that, we have to understand that it's also part of what we're looking for. We're looking for life, so we need to understand the microbiome world in order to be able maybe to recognize life once we find it somewhere else in the universe, because we always imagine aliens being green men with little antennas. I don't believe that that's what we're going to find, but I do believe that it's going to be something very similar to what we understand because of the physical constraints of the universe. And the microbial world is probably what the closest example that we can find of something that is probable existing elsewhere in the universe.
Thank you very much, Luca. Unfortunately, we don't have time for any more questions, so I'll hand back over to you for a quick goodbye to all of our connected sites.
I want to remind the students that ask me the questions that you are the future of science, technology, and exploration. Your questions are so important because it shows your ingenuity and your curiosity. Keep that curiosity alive. Curiosity is what made most of us astronauts be here today. We just wanted to explore. We wanted to find out new things. You have that flame. Your teacher are fanning that flame so that it become a fire of curiosity and future exploration. We trust your generation to come up with the question and the answer that we need to be better humans in the future. So thank you for your question. Thank you for coming up here. Thank you for pushing me beyond my own limits of knowledge, and I'll see you soon, and thank you again.
Hi everyone, this is Alana back at ESA STech. I want to send a big thank you to all of our wonderful questions today, to our ESERO offices, to all the teachers and students at each of our sites. If you didn't have a chance to have your question answered today, I encourage you to go onto Luca's social media accounts. He's very good at answering questions on there, so feel free to pose them to them on, or pose your questions to him on those social media accounts. Lastly, we're going to do a round of thank yous and goodbyes from each of our connected sites, so we'll start first back with Germany.
Thank you, Alana. Thank you very much. We are looking at two very happy faces, two sad faces, little bit sad faces, but a lot of happy faces in the background. Wave to Alana or make some noise, please. You see, we are very excited still, and we will have time for recap. And yeah, now we say goodbye, tot ziens, thank you very much, adios, and arrivederci.
Hello, Hello from ESERO Italy. I think it has been a very exciting experience for me. It was the first time, and I think also for our students and teachers. We already asked a question to our students who want to become a future astronaut. And so we have hands up. Who want to become an astronaut in the future? Oh, okay. So we have 3, 4, maybe 5 people, kids that want to become an astronaut and maybe will become Luca or Samantha of the future. So thank you for this great opportunity. You can say goodbye. Hi. Hello to everybody. Thank you. Over to ESERO Spain, of course.
Okay, thanks, Annalisa. Well, I mean, the same. I mean, very anxious people, very amazing day. And we would like to thank to our local authorities in here, people belonging to the consortium, Parque de las Ciencias Consortium, Astrophysics Institute of Andalucía, the Granada University, Airbus Space, and for sure all the schools that have done a great effort with their teachers today. You know, Mariana Pineda, Buliana, Politécnico Jesús Marín, Veleta, Arabuleila, Caballero Bonal, Federico García Lorca, Mayorazgo, y Gil de Zático. Thank you all for coming here today. And all the team behind the scenes, you know, ESERO team, Carmen, Elena, Education Department, Vicente, Guadalupe, and the team, the technical team for the assistance and support. Thank you all, and see you soon.
Okay, and finally, I just want to say a quick thank you to my team here in the room with me. I have Dave, Melanie, and Teo. They've all really helped with this event today. Thank you to all of our ESERO offices, and this is us signing out from ESA Aztec. Goodbye.